Hello everyone and welcome to my 1000 subscriber Q&A special. If you saw my announcement video from a few days ago, you had the opportunity to ask me pretty much any questions you wanted in the comments or on my Discord server, and I will answer them here today in this video. So before we get into it, once again, thank you all for helping me reach this milestone. I still really can't believe that this many people have decided to follow me. I can't believe that this many people actually like my content. That's kind of unbelievable to me. So thank you guys a lot for your support, and here's to all of our success in the future. Now, let's get right into it. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to read these from oldest to newest, so I'm going to start off with my guy, Fine. I don't know any questions, so what's your favorite meal? I'm going to read into this question way more than I probably should. I don't know if you mean meal or food, because those are like separate things. So I'm going to answer both. My favorite food is my grandmother's homemade tomato soup. Absolutely fucking tremendous. I made a pot of it yesterday. Even, when anyone else makes it, it's not as good, because, it's your grandmother making it. I'm sure that applies to pretty much anyone else, where whenever your grandmother makes something, it's better than whenever anyone else makes it. So naturally, my grandmother makes tomato soup better than anyone else, even when we're using the same recipe. Now for meal, my favorite meal has to be a filet mignon with some mashed potatoes on the side. Now you may be thinking, Misk, you sound really fucking bougie. Do you just eat filet mignon all the time? Yes, but there's a catch to it. If you go to a restaurant, filet mignon is like $20 to $30 fucking dollars. But you go to like Costco or something, and you buy some beef tenderloin for like $100, cut it up into like 10 to 15 steaks, and vacuum seal them. That's like $10 per steak. That's actually pretty fucking sustainable if you do like a Costco run every month for all of your groceries. So that's both my favorite food and my favorite meal. From Kritik Batra. I'm sorry if I mispronounce anyone's names. I think I have some people, maybe a lot of people actually, who subscribe to me who are not from America. You guys have some pretty out there names in comparison to what I've heard. What's your Twitter handle? It's at miskcont. I'll just link it in the description. Be forewarned, I will fill your timeline with a bunch of political nonsense, so if you're not into that, or you don't want to know what my political leanings are, maybe don't follow me on Twitter, but I will include a link to it in the description below. Next, Watan Seba. Everyone asks things like, what's your favorite? So I want to ask you the opposite. Are there any mangas or anime that you dislike or hate? And if so, why? So the funny thing is, no, not really. And the reason for that is I watch and read stuff based almost entirely around recommendations or just seeing that it's really popular. I'm fairly new to anime and manga. I only got into it into the last few years, which will be very obvious later in this video. So I mostly get into stuff based around hearsay about something being really good, or someone just telling me to read it, and I take a look at it, I hear some of the features of it, and I'm like, yeah, that does sound really interesting. That's how I got into Chainsaw Man. So, no, none that I have read or watched that I actively hate. I don't know if that sounds, if you guys have stuff that you actively hate. I know someone, Gabriel Martinez, replied that he hates Fairy Tail because characters never seem to die, and also attacks don't matter. I've heard a lot of conflicting opinions on Fairy Tail. I don't know if I'll ever watch it or read it sometime. Maybe. Who knows? Next. Drunk Matter. What's your top 5 manga or anime? Alright, here's where we're gonna get into how new I am to this shit. I am probably very different from a lot of older, more established anime and manga YouTubers, in that I have not read a lot of the classics. I've only read one of the big 3. I haven't read a lot of very famous old stuff. So, my top 5 consists of a lot of new shit, or just stuff that's not, super famous. Let's see. So, number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen. I fucking love it. In case you couldn't tell, it's basically the primary series I do on this channel. I absolutely love it. Second place would be Chainsaw Man. It's probably, like, in terms of actual writing, in terms of character writing and storytelling, it's one of the best fucking things I've ever read in my life. Number 3, probably Record of Ragnarok. It's just fucking fun. It's really, really fun. It gives me something to look forward to at the end of every month. And I think just each fight has its own sort of unique qualities that make it absolutely fucking fantastic. Number 4. What is my number 4? Probably Hellsing Ultimate. Hellsing Ultimate is the first anime that I watched the entirety of. I somehow found the entirety of it on YouTube. Dubbed, of course, because as we all know, the dubbed version of Hellsing Ultimate is the superior version. It's one of those very few anime where the dub is actually better than sub. But yeah, Hellsing Ultimate is just absolutely fucking tremendous. It's one of the most entertaining series that I've ever watched. It's outstanding. And for my number 5, that's kind of a difficult one, because a lot of the other stuff I've watched are just sort of at the same level of quality. But since this is both anime and manga, I would probably say Demon Slayer. First off, the anime adaptation is absolutely amazing. It's one of the best anime adaptations I've ever seen of anything ever. And I have read through the entirety of the manga, and I quite like it a lot. I think Demon Slayer was probably the first manga that I read through, or I watched the anime, and then I could not wait for the movie or the next season to come out, so I just immediately went and read the manga. It's the first series that I've ever done that for, and it's tremendous. I know a lot of people say that it's like overrated or whatever, and it doesn't really do anything new or unique, and to that I say, yeah, probably, but I don't really care. Now, as you've noticed, this is like a pretty what the fuck top 5 list. I need to read and watch more stuff. I haven't read Berserk yet. I'm probably going to read Berserk at some point. I've started watching Hunter x Hunter. I just finished the first season of Attack on Titan. I might read One Piece at some point. There's a lot of shit that I still need to read, and I'm sure this list will become much more reasonable once I've actually done that. Next question, from Ace Victory. Where are you from? In case some of you couldn't tell from maybe my accent. I don't know if it's like super obvious. But I'm from New England, which is in America. It's on the northeast coast, for those of you not from America, or from America and just not familiar with geography, like a lot of Americans. Yeah, that's where I'm from. I'm not going to get into any further detail as to where I live now, because I'm not the type of person to reveal where I live on the internet. Next question, from Daniel Mentor. Why did you decide to do YouTube, and why specifically focus on manga? There's another question later on that's kind of similar to this. So, I have like 2 different answers for each version of the question. So for this one, why did you decide to do YouTube? I had a project for a film class where we had to do like a 10-minute commentary video answering questions about the project we had done. And after going through the recording and the editing process, I was like, hey, this is like kind of fun. I wouldn't mind doing this all the time. And doing YouTube was something that I had sort of considered the idea of for a while, but was never really sure I would have the means to do it, or just like the content to make videos about. But fortunately, through that film class, I discovered that, oh wait, no, it's actually like really easy to produce videos in the style that I do. So then I decided to do it. Now, for the second question, why specifically focus on manga? That's very interesting. So when I had started this channel, I called it Miss Content, as in miscellaneous content, because I had originally wanted to just sort of make videos on whatever, manga and anime, or video games, news and politics, but when I did my Record of Ragnarok videos, and really liked that, and then started doing videos on other manga, I just sort of fell into it, and I really like it. So I've just sort of turned it into an anime and manga channel. which, I mean, I'm not too upset about. I'm fairly happy that it's turned out this way. So yeah, there's the answer to your question. That's probably going to be one of the more insightful ones that you're going to get out of this video. Honey Mustard asks, what video ideas would you like to do so far that you haven't? That's a great question. Several months ago, over the summer, I had decided to play through Dark Souls 2 and take notes on pretty much literally everything to try and stitch together the lore for myself, which is something I'd never done before with any of the Souls games. I would always just watch lore videos from people like VaatiVideo. But I compiled all of those notes, and I did like a series. I did like a lore series on the Dark Souls 2 subreddit. And I had kind of wanted to do a video series discussing the lore in Dark Souls 2 as I had put it together. I never finished that series because, like, school and stuff. I never got to the DLCs, I just finished the main game. But maybe, perhaps, one day, if I find a way to do the videos in a way that I like the actual product, it would probably... I would have to find a way to record gameplay and then put it... Whatever. In case you can't tell, I'm not very experienced with video editing. That's why the editing on my videos is very simple. Despite being a relatively young person, I am completely inept when it comes to using technology, so I haven't really figured out how to do any of that stuff yet. But perhaps one day I will do a Dark Souls 2 lore video series, and maybe once I get my hands on a PS5 and I finally play Demon Souls for the first time, maybe I'll actually do a Demon Souls lore series, which could actually be soon if I manage to get my hands on it, and find a way to produce the videos in a way that I'm satisfied with. Next question from Dunkin' Donuts. What made you start up your YouTube channel? I've always wanted to try, just curious. So that's the second of the relatively similar questions. It's similar to the one we just got from Daniel Mentor. What made me decide to start up my YouTube channel? Well, I'd actually, in case you couldn't tell from my first 7 or so videos, is I really, really wanted to make videos talking about Record of Ragnarok, because it's a series that I like a lot, and at the time, there really weren't, and really still aren't, that many YouTube channels that talk about the series. So I just wanted to make more videos on it to hopefully expose more people to it. So for you, Dunkin' Donuts, considering starting your own YouTube channel, the most simple advice I can give is just find something that you really want to make videos on and just do it. And generally, the passion that you have for it will really help you in producing something that you enjoy and that other people will be able to enjoy. From Joshua Olatunji, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Lol, I remember when your goal was to hit 500 by the end of the year. Yo, yeah, I know that's crazy. And the craziest part is that wasn't very long ago. That was only like a month ago. As for a question, have you read Kingdom, and would you consider doing one of your rambling videos on it? I know it's super, though. I have not read Kingdom. I have heard about it a lot. Isn't it about, like, the unification of China? I know it has something to do with Chinese history, and I've heard it's pretty good. I may read it at some point. It is one of those longer running anime, or not anime, manga. It's like, isn't it over 680 chapters by now? So that's a big time investment. I'll probably get into it at some point. When I'm done with the other stuff that I'm trying to get into right now that I mentioned earlier, Hunter x Hunter, Attack on Titan, things like that. Once I'm done with that, I'll probably maybe look into reading Kingdom. Now, we have 2 questions from Old Defiant. The first one, who do you think is a character that went to peak fiction level, and why do you think so? So first off, to preface, I fucking hate the term peak fiction, because I see it used like every single day by random dipshits on Twitter who are jerking off trying to say whether Bleach or Naruto is better. So like every single time I hear the term peak fiction, I have to hope that I don't have a fucking grand mal seizure. But to actually answer your question, I think there are 2. One from a series that I haven't read yet, and one from a series that I have read. The one from a series I haven't read is Guts. I haven't read Berserk, but I'm one of those people where I hear about something interesting. I assume I'm never going to read or watch it, so I just look up a bunch of videos about it on YouTube. And Guts seems like a fantastic, realistically written character, covers a bunch of different themes like trauma, loss, hatred, revenge, and moving on from those things. So definitely Guts. The other one is my boy, Kento Nanami from Jujutsu Kaisen. I made an entire video talking about Nanami. You should go watch it if you haven't. But I think overall he just, other than being an amazingly written character, has a fantastic message of just doing whatever you feel you have a purpose in doing, and that you feel satisfaction in doing it. You feel gratitude from doing it. So yeah, that's to answer your first question. Second question, is Jujutsu Kaisen your favorite manga? I answered that earlier. Yes, it is. At the time being. Once again, I'm sure when I read other manga, much older and more famous manga, it's likely that it probably won't be anymore. But for the time being, it is. Now, we have two questions again from Spooky Bones 224. The first one, will you read Kaiju number 8? And have you been reading Boruto? Shit is some heat. So, to answer the first half of your question, I've actually started reading Kaiju number 8. I started reading it a few months ago. I read the first 3 chapters, and then never went anywhere with it, even though it seemed pretty good. And then I read a little bit more of it recently, and haven't read any more since. And I don't know why, because I like it. So, maybe, potentially, if I catch up on it, and I really like it, maybe I'll start doing video series on it. Now, have I been reading Boruto? No. Because I haven't read Naruto either. I've heard some very conflicting statements about Naruto and Boruto. Some people saying that stuff is peak shonen, and other people saying that stuff is flaming garbage. Naruto being as famous as it is, one of the members of the big 3 of old. I assume there's something good about it. And if I'm going to be any sort of half-decent anime and manga YouTuber, I'm probably going to have to read it at some point. So maybe if I read Naruto and I like it, I'll maybe read Boruto. Hopefully it's not trash, like I've heard it is from some people. Hopefully it's half as good as a lot of the people on my Twitter timeline say it is. Now for his second question, do you like Black Clover? Yes. I think it's pretty good. I think it gets a lot of unnecessary hate from a lot of other Weekly Shonen Jump fans, and I don't fucking know why. Like, why shit on Black Clover? What did Black Clover do to you? It's a pretty solid shonen series. I don't really have any issues with it. I quite like it. Current arc's pretty good. I like most of the characters, and it has really good art. So, next question from Jason Blaisdell. First of all, he congratulates me for starting a great channel. Thank you. I'm curious how strong you think Junpei would have become if he survived the attack against Mahito, if he would have worked well with the other first years at the school. Also, he recommends Monster number 8, which is Kaiju number 8. As I mentioned like just a minute ago, I've read a little bit of it, and I think it's pretty good. How strong do I think Junpei would have been? Probably like a mid-level sorcerer. I mean, the poison ability is kind of alright. It doesn't have anything crazy like Megumi's abilities are, though we never really got to see a lot of it. I don't think Junpei would have been like a super powerful sorcerer. I think he would have been pretty mid-level, so like a grade 2 or 3 probably. And if he would have worked well with the other first years, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara seem to all get along with other people pretty well, so I imagine he'd sort of be like a younger brother figure to them. Save this poor bullied child who has a lot of potential to be a really good person. Next, from Moridan. Who's your favorite character and fight in Record of Ragnarok? And whose fight are you most excited for? Both humans and gods. This is going to spoil a video that I'll be coming out with in like a week or two. Who is your favorite character? Sasuke, my guy Sasuke. And what's my favorite fight? It's round 3. I fucking love round 3. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I fucking love that fight. Not for like any objective reasons, it's just my favorite. for reasons I'll talk about in this video. Whose fight am I most excited for? On the human side, let's see. For the humans, probably... Let's see. Well, with the recent Qin Shi Huang design, I'm much more excited for him now. Alternatively, probably Nikola Tesla, because I'm really interested to see what they're going to do for him. I'm assuming they're going to do something similar to Drive Knight from One Punch Man, where he just has like this box that can turn into whatever he wants. And on the God side, I'm going to provide two again. Either either Beelzebub or Buddha. Next question from Dragon's Rage. Have you read One Piece, and if so, who's your favorite villain? No, I'm afraid I haven't read One Piece, but as I mentioned earlier, I may read it at some point. I don't know if I should... if I keep pushing it off long enough, I'll probably just read it when it's finished. Didn't Otis say he'd try and finish in like the next 5 years or so? I don't know if I'll wait that long to read it, but considering how famous and important One Piece is, I'll probably end up reading it at some point. From M21, do you read My Hero Academia? If so, what do you think about the current arc? And what do you think about MHA in general? Yeah, I kind of read My Hero. The way it works is I keep up with the story for the most part, but I usually just find out what happens in the story through spoilers on my Twitter timeline. But if, like, a chapter's really crazy, I'll go through and read it. Like, I went and read through the entirety of the Overhaul arc before Season 4 came out. I think My Hero's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good series. I think it gets a lot of hate from people just because it's popular. I think that tends to happen a lot with series, is people just... they hate seeing stuff successful if it's not, like, this super deep, masterfully written just work of art. I don't think something has to be. I think a lot of the times if something's very unoriginal and doesn't do anything groundbreaking but does it really well, that's usually how something becomes really popular. And I really don't have a problem with that. I don't mind having stuff that's like fairly generic as long as it's done really well. What do I think of the current arc? I think it's really fucking good. I think we've gotten a lot of great stuff out of characters like Shigaraki and Dabi. Who else has gotten really good character moments? Mirko, of course. Well, didn't we get most of our Mirko content out of this arc? Yeah, I guess we did. Overall, very fucking good. I guess this is My Hero's War arc? I also heard that Horikoshi says it may be ending soon. I don't know what the fuck soon means. But whatever. Overall, I think it's pretty good. Next question. From Zarzu4. Have you read Dora Hetero? If so, thoughts? I have. I've read basically the entire contents of the first season, and for some reason have not read any more of it since. But overall, it's really good. I didn't expect it to be like a mystery series, but it's pretty fucking good. Next question from Sage of Pixel 88. Face reveal? No. I don't know if I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I don't really have any intention of doing a face reveal because I'm going to be doing stuff outside of YouTube, like having a job. And if I do something cringe, if I do something that's like kind of yikes on accident, and my face is attached to it, that's on the internet forever, regardless of whether or not I delete it. And that could have pretty not great repercussions for me in the future. So, to err on the side of caution, no face reveal for the time being. If I can turn YouTube into a job and I don't really have to worry about anything else, maybe I'll do a face reveal. There you have it, guys. As a reward for reaching 100,000 subscribers, I'll do a face reveal. There you have it. So, there's your next subscriber milestone. No, it's not. No, we're not fucking shooting for that in anywhere near the anywhere remotely near future. Now, next question from Dratagoat1. when are you going to do more manga reviews? And are you going to do a face reveal? I already answered that one. When am I going to do more manga reviews? If you're referring to the stuff I'm doing now, I haven't really done much because basically everything's been on break for the last week. Kengan Omega was on a break, Jujutsu Kaisen was on a break, Chainsaw Man ended for now, Record of Ragnarok only comes out once a month, but we got a Kengan chapter this week, we got a double chapter for Record of Ragnarok this month, and I'm going to be doing my fight ranking video hopefully next week, since the fight's supposedly ending this month. So there will be more content coming soon. If you're referring to new manga reviews, it's really just a matter of when I read and catch up to a series and whether I have enough to talk about to do a review series. So it's really just a matter of whatever's going on. Let's see. Next question from Brecken Feldman, who initially just wanted to congratulate me on 1,000 subscribers, and says that he really got into my channel from my Toji analysis video, and just wanted to wish me a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So first off, thank you. And then he actually thought of a question. He says he started Berserk 2 to 3 days ago, and that he's already 100 chapters deep. I don't recall seeing anything on your channel about the series. If you've read it, what are your thoughts? I don't have any content about it on my channel because I haven't read it yet. I'm going to at some point. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know about you guys. I'm one of those people where I don't think I'll ever have a way to get into a series, or if something's just really long, but it interests me, I'm just gonna fucking spoil myself with YouTube videos. But I'm probably going to read Berserk at some point, and when I do, I'll probably do videos on it. So there's your answer. Next question from Alonzo Uchiha. Excluding Jujutsu Kaisen power system, what is your favorite anime manga power system? If I had to think, once again, I haven't read nearly enough. I haven't caught up enough on Hunter x Hunter to fucking understand Nen yet. So probably spiritual power from Bleach. I think it's just really simple, and that helps it a lot. You know, you've got your base form, Zanpakuto, then you've got Shikai, then you've got Bankai. If someone's spiritual pressure is super high, you may not even be able to stand around them. And if you can, you may not be able to attack them. I think it's just really simple, and that just kind of makes it really easy to follow and understand. Now, for our last question of this video from VRJ. Are there any non-anime YouTubers that you like to watch or were maybe inspired by? So, I generally don't like to talk about politics, but if there is any YouTuber that sort of inspired me and the way that I do my content, it'd have to be Secular Talk, which is a political news channel. I've been following it since the 2016 election, and I think that they just sort of talk in a way, and their style of doing videos is just something that I really vibe with. I really just vibe with the host's personality, and their way of doing things is just something that I also really like. So I kind of do videos in the way you do. So yeah, that is all the questions I have on here. Thank you guys for leaving your questions and participating in this. This is, of course, for you guys to show my appreciation for us reaching 1,000 subscribers. Once again, thank you for helping me reach this milestone. Literally could not do it without you. Your participation is required. You have to click the subscribe button for the big number to go up. So seriously, thank you guys. And here's to the next milestone, which is being revealed now. I would like to try and hit 5,000 subscribers by April 22nd-ish, because I think that's when I started my YouTube channel this year. It was around April 22nd. I'll check the exact date, but shit. The speed at which we've been gaining subscribers has increased exponentially over the last 2 months or so. It's been absolutely insane. Just in the last week, since I actually hit 1,000 subscribers, I've already gained almost 200 new subscribers. So, gaining another 4,000 in like 4 months, we could maybe do that. But if we can't reach it by then, my next milestone goal is to just hit 5,000. So, let's see how quickly we can hit that. And from there, who the fuck knows what we're gonna do. So, once again, thank you guys for helping us reach this milestone. I'm eternally grateful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.